Hey, what's up, Facebook? Sun went away, so I ain't gonna stay out here too long. In fact, I even have my jacket on out here. So, yeah, wearing my jacket and
time to wrap it up, y'all. It's 6:30 p.m.
hello, West Alameda. It's after 6 o'clock. Time to give a shout out and thank you to all the frontline, the essential workers, to the doctors, the nurses, the longshoremen, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the farm workers, those who work in the warehouse, the stores, sanitation workers, postal employees, teachers, parents. So please, if you hear my voice, would you clap your hands, honk your horns, shout, make some noise. Thank you, frontline workers. Thank you, essential workers. Oh, it's cold out here, y'all. Hey, Teresa, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, it's a little chilly. I don't know. I think my knee is kind of giving out. I hope I ain't getting my gout. Yep. You know, you get a certain age and you don't eat right, or you don't eat the stuff you're supposed to eat, or you eat the stuff you ain't supposed to eat, you end up getting that gout. Damn, Teresa, it's 95 in Sacramento. Woo-wee, girl. All right, then. So, that's one of the reasons why I don't live in Sac. I have, my son lives out there in Sacramento. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this, bro. See how it's going right here. All right. So today is day 527, September the 9th, 2021. I have been doing this shout out since April the 1st, 2020. And so this is basically the 527th day of doing this. And on September the 9th, 2021, it's 4,625,028 people have died of coronavirus throughout the world. 674,510 right here in the United States. And in the Philippines, 34,733. And yesterday, on September the 8th, this is what it was. And the black is yesterday. And you can see the difference right there. Okay. And this is what it was on April the 9th, 2020. 96,000 throughout the world, 16,200 in the United States, and 203 in the Philippines. So, just want to give, let's see, I'll just start over here with prayers, thoughts, condolences, hugs, and love. And even though I don't have it on here, I'd ask everybody to keep in your prayers and thoughts everyone who is in need, ooh, excuse me, y'all, who is in need of prayers and thoughts. who somebody might need a hug or you know just saying, hey, I was thinking about you, I love you, so people need that. And then condolences because somebody's passed away or, something has happened to a loved one or friend. Sharon Freed has put out a tribute for Howard G. Biggs. He's an AC Transit D2 retiree, born in 1939, and he just passed away August 29th, 2021. So Sharon Freed, she has it on Facebook. So thank you, Sharon Freed. And thank you, Mr. Howard G. Briggs, Brother Briggs. Biggs, my bad. Birthday, anniversary, and congratulations. So, oh, hey, Patricia, how you doing? Happy birthday to my grandson, Del Classico. His name is Del Rico, but he goes by Del Classico, so it's all good. It's my grandson. He lives in Germany, and he's actually a rapper out there, too. So, hey, grandson, what is it, morning in Germany? So, Guten Morgen. I don't know how to say happy birthday in German, but happy birthday to you, grandson. I hope you have a great birthday in Germany. I believe you're in front. I believe you're ahead of us. I'm not sure. Don't let me lie. Okay, and also happy birthday to Jason Biggs, Michelle Glover, Erjak, Akol Ding, and Robin Webb. Also, Marlene Kinchin has given a birthday shout out to her mother, who just turned 93 years old. Happy birthday, Marlene, to your mom, to Marlene's mother. Jorge Watson is giving a shout out to his goddaughter, Little Jen. So, Little Jen, happy birthday to you, coming to you from Jorge Watson, your godfather. And over in Lafayette, there's a man by the name of Ashley Diaz. He was a volunteer crossing guard. He was killed saving a 12-year-old girl out there in Lafayette at the middle school. Now, this is the same middle school that he went to when he was young. And he lived in San Francisco. His parents still live out there in Lafayette, actually like a couple blocks away from the school. And so whenever he would go visit his mom and his dad, he would take time to go to the school and be a volunteer crossing guard because the traffic thing over there is really bad. An SUV, I don't know what the situation was. They say that the woman had picked up her daughter at the school, and I don't know if she was on her cell phone, which I imagine that's probably what it was. So you guys stay off the cell phone, please. Anyway, the SUV the woman lost control or whatever. She wasn't, I don't know what happened. I can't call it, but she ran over Ashley Diaz. He actually pushed a young girl out of the way, and then he got hit by the SUV. He got killed, and the girl was she was injured, but they said she's going to be okay. So, hey, Ashley Diaz, here's to you, bro. Thank you for saving that little girl, and we will remember you. And here we go, Richmond, Virginia. That statue of the traitor, that rebel general known as Robert E. Lee, who was also a slave owner in Virginia. They finally took down his statue after more than 100 years. So I like that. Oh, my knee hurt. So, it must be cold. I'm still wearing shorts, but it must be cold if it must be cold if I got on a jacket to go stand outside on the balcony. I never wear a jacket. But It was a little chilly. So, Teresa, you got 92 degrees up in Sacramento. I hear you. But for me, it's a little chilly. For some people, it's probably real cold. For other people, this ain't nothing. I guess people who live someplace where it's really, really cold, they look at this as like, this ain't nothing. But what can I say? Oh, well. How do you guys feel about the whole thing with the statue?
Time to wrap it up, y'all. It's 6:40 p.m.
How do you feel about this whole thing with statues of Confederate generals and monuments to the Confederates and schools named after slave owners? And how do you feel about it? Well, I don't know. But let me just give you my opinion on it. Obviously, if you see that I call him a traitor and a slave owner, which Robert E. Lee was most definitely a slave owner. He was in the military, the United States Armed Forces. And when the war broke out, he decided to be more loyal to the state of Virginia because Virginia broke away from the Union. And so he decided he would join the Confederacy. I call him a traitor because if you take the oath of allegiance to the United States government, the oath of allegiance to, to the Constitution and everything, you don't just turn on it and do that. So that he's a traitor. He was a slave owner. He owned slaves. So those are that's how I feel about it. I have no sympathy whatsoever for slave owners. I have no sympathy for traitors. They were traitors. It was a civil war. It was a war where the Confederates left and fought against the Union, and where the Union was, you just can't do that. I'm not stupid. I understand that the Union was not fighting to free slaves. That was not the original intent. The original intent was to stop the Confederates from having, from doing what they did. On the other hand, all the constitutions of the Confederate States specifically said that black folks in their states would be slaves forever. So the North may not have been fighting to free slaves, but the South, they was definitely fighting to keep slaves. The revisionist history of Confederates are this has to do with their heritage. It was not about racism, and it was all about preserving their way of life. So what was their way of life? Slavery. That was their way of life, slavery. So anyway, take them down. Take them all down. I don't give a damn. Let them all go down and just take them all down. And I use, what is it? The allegory? I use the example. Germany lost World War II. Hitler lost the war. In Germany, after Germany was defeated, they do not have Nazi flags flying from federal buildings. Okay? So think about it. The Confederacy lost the war, yet years later, decades later, the South is flying Confederate flags. Okay, and admittedly, they just now taking them all down. But they're flying Confederate flags. They was flying Confederate flags, and they were having monuments to Confederate generals and all this other crap. Okay, Germany, they don't have monuments to Hitler. They don't have monuments to Goring and Himmler and not even General Rommel. And General Rommel was actually probably one of Germany's good generals. Okay, and Rommel wasn't even a Nazi, part of the Nazi party. But they don't have anything like that in Germany. So the United States does not need to have monuments dedicated to Confederates. They lost the war. Who ever put up a monument to the losing side? Okay? United States won their War of Independence against Great Britain. They don't have monuments to King George. They don't have monuments to Lord Cornwallis. They don't have monuments to British soldiers and British generals. They don't do that. Okay? The Americans wiped out native indigenous people. They don't have monuments to the natives who they killed and wiped out. So why should the Confederates who lost the war have the ability to have schools named after them? And look at the Army bases. Fort Benning, Fort Bragg. Those are names of Confederate generals. I was born in Fort Benning. I was born on a Confederate Army base. To an African-American soldier and a Filipino mother. And born on an Army base in 1948. And on my birth certificate, in those days, birth certificates put your race. Race was a big thing back in the 40s and the 50s. And my father's race says Negro. My mother's race, it says she was born in Dulag Leyte in the Philippines. But then her race says Negro. Because they couldn't figure out what a Filipino was, so they didn't put her down as Filipino, just regardless of the fact that they showed that she was born in Dulag Leyte. But they didn't know what Filipinos was, I guess, so they put her down as being Negro because she was married to a Negro. And I use the word Negro because that's how they put it on there. And on the birth certificate, mine says Negro also. So I'm just saying all that is the race system in this country, the institutionalization of race is so bad. And taking down Confederate statues and flags and all this other stuff is a good thing because we don't need to have that up there. We don't need to have it. And also, I know some of y'all probably ain't gonna agree with me, and that's okay, because this thing was because since I'm talking and you guys is sitting up here looking or listening, or even if you ain't listening, you get on here and listen later on. George Washington was a slave owner. I don't give a damn if he was the father of America, the founding father of America, the president of the first president of the United States. In the eyes of the British, he was a traitor. George Washington fought for the British during the French and American War, the French-British War. They call it the French and Indian War, but it was part of that war between France and Great Britain when they fought all over the world, but they did it here in the United States in the colonies. And it's also one of the first battles that George Washington actually lost, was as a militia officer in the British Army, and he lost. He surrendered. But, they don't have monuments to losers, except here in this country, we have monuments to Confederates. And they don't have monuments to Adolf Hitler, who committed genocide on Jews and other people, But yet we have high schools named after George Washington, a slave owner. And you should also remember something. Look it up. Yes, George Washington was a slave owner, but he was also a cruel slave owner. I would say that slave owners come in, you're either hella cruel, hella mean, just beat the hell out your slaves, or you're in the middle, like you don't beat them, you don't do all that stuff, you just in the middle. And then you have the ones that are just like real lackadaisical, let the slaves run everything, and you don't, as long as they get the work done.
Oh my God! Pick up the phone. There is something very, 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 very important I have to tell you.
But so that's anyway. I'm just saying that we don't need to have that. So that's my thing, and I'm gonna get up out of here. Bukas na muli tayo, makikita, paalam na sayo. Tomorrow we will meet again. Goodbye to you for now. Okay? And on that note, Bahala Na, Mabuhay, Amandla Awetu, Ashe, Harambe, Hokahe, Jayu, Que Viva la Raza, Mahalo, Shalom, Namaste, Assalamu Alaikum, Wakanda forever, peace, power. I always get this wrong. Heart for love. Hey y'all, stay safe, stay strong, wear that mask, get vaccinated, protect others. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's your choice. I understand people have a choice that they are going to make, what they're going to decide to do, so that's okay. I understand that, but at least wear a mask. Please, protect me. I'm not going to go into that cartoon about the guy that gets peed on. I ain't going to do that. I did that yesterday. Hey, y'all, I'm up out of here. One love.